So I wasn't planning on working on the car tonight, but I was doing another electronics project and kind of find myself feeling like drilling some holes. So I'm going to drill some holes in there. Mark this up. Put it together. So I was able to change out my shifter knob, and it curves just enough. It's a one bend 8-inch, 8-inch? Yeah, 8-inch that curves because it used to be over here, and so now it's over here. And it's a little longer, so this isn't getting all bunched up. I still think I need to put a little bit of Velcro on this top so it's not moving around, because this is still pretty stiff and it's kind of jerking it around. But that's the if that's the worst of it, then that's the least of my worries. So I still need to, this is what holds the latch to close the hood, and so I still need to sand this. I'm actually contemplating, sorry, it's like the angle of my camera is just weird. I'm actually contemplating painting it blue so it goes away instead of having this big gray thing like jumping out on top. You know, all the hinges are gray and stuff like that, so that looks cool, but I don't know. I think I might actually just make this blue so it's just going away. So I need to, I filled this hole the other day with epoxy, and I'm just going to sand this down and make it all pretty, and then talk to Greg and see if I need to match this with the right paint or just use my PPG that I was using before. It should all match technically, but you know how that goes. So I just got done drilling these out. These probably tomorrow or something. I'll drill some holes over here, pop that on right there. Of course, I'm going to put this one over in the corner. The other one I think I'm going to put right about there, over to the left of the center console. And supposedly my hardtop's going to be done tomorrow. I've heard that story before. And we'll be picking that up and getting it over here. And then we got to do a lot of sanding and buffing. I got to get my defroster vents in. So hopefully I could keep Greg here long enough to like kind of start finalizing stuff and get maybe the doors aligned. And I don't know if I'm asking for too much or not. So we'll see. But that's all we're doing for tonight. I'll probably install these next, get that going, and kind of go from there. All right, so we are going to be assessing and addressing today. That's what the motto is. Um, we have this part to paint now. What sucks about this is if I was just going to spray it black, I get out my special epoxy paint that doesn't need primer and I go like 4 times and I'm done. But since this needs to match the car, we are looking at primer over aluminum, possibly build primer to get rid of this little thing we got going on here. Then we're looking at color. Then we're looking at clear coat. So I'm trying to have this attitude today that it's no big deal. We're going to mix up this little tiny batch and it's going to be really easy. Kind of like Greg does it. You know, it's like nonchalant, no big deal, done. And so I don't know. We'll see. I got all my instructions of what I need to do. And so that's one part that we need to do today. Now, while we're doing that, I got a little bit of touch up on areas when we were bleeding brakes and stuff. So I might try to touch that up with a brush. We'll see how that works. I got one wheel that it's pretty bad. The rest of them are just little nuances. So that's kind of the main stuff. Then tomorrow Greg's coming by and we're going to be buffing, and I might start some of this drilling holes in this today. I might not. I might get too scared. The other thing we need to do is put the prop rod onto the hood. We need to get the doors aligned, and then once the doors are aligned, close that all up. Got to get the roll bar and the waterfall in because they go all together at once. Once that, of course, carpet in the back. And then once that all happens, I can put the hardtop on. So honestly, I'm not sure the hardtop is actually going to go on tomorrow because there is a crap load of work to do. And it's all simple work, except for aligning the doors. It's kind of a pain. I just don't know how long it's going to take. It's probably a whole day event. And we'll just have to see. I really don't know. But we're getting really close. So what I've done is I've created drawings, including a vertical drawing, a top-down drawing, so I can mark off all the areas that I think need to be sanded more or cleaned up, made blemish-free. Maybe there's I don't know, a little nuance of clear coat that needs to be filled in or something, you know, almost like a boil or something like that. So I'm going to go through the fine-tooth comb and do my analysis, and then kind of go from there, and then see if Greg punches me. See if he knocks me out flat. You know, there's areas like this that in real life is looking perfect, and here it looks a little shadowy, but it's perfect. Yeah, I guess it's just how the camera is performing on this, but and then there's other areas where I think it's a little too grainy, if you will. I call it grapefruit instead of orange peel. So want to get that kind of all smoothed out, and then yeah, oh, that's what I keep forgetting. I got to get rid of the tape residue, maybe do a little extra polish on this, get this ready. A few water spots here and there. So then at some point we need to get these headlights aligned, but I think these panels are probably coming off once or twice before that's finalized. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. I need to go to the store and get the black paint so I could paint all around here, which means I got to take that and that off. Not 100%, but pull it back, paint it, let it dry a few hours, pop it back on. So there's definitely stuff to do. I got to make sure I put that on my list. So what I'm going to do is kind of figure out where I'm going to start. And then I got to clear this all off and make it my little lab for chemical lab for painting. And kind of go from there. All right, so it's another day. This wasn't drying as fast as I thought it would. Maybe I didn't let it sit up as much as I needed to. There's like a 15-minute holding period before you're supposed to spray. I probably gave it 8 and then I hit it. Being painting, always rushing. So anyways, I'm gonna see if I can sand this and get this painted if it comes out pretty well. I don't have any build primer. Turns out I gave it all to Greg and got used up, which I didn't know. Otherwise I'd get this perfect, but I think I could sand it to get it pretty well. And this epoxy primer is just like solid, so we're going to see how well it even sands. Honestly, not sure how that's going to go. I had a little bit of a sleepless night, so I'm waking up way later. I was supposed to be in here around 7 kicking ass, and it's about 8:20 right now, and Greg's going to be here in an hour, so I'm going to try to paint this. The other thing I'm going to try to do is rinse down the car, get rid of all the smudges, hazing, anything that is not actually in the paint, but on top of the paint, and then make up a whole list of everything that needs to be fixed. Not that it's going to happen today, but get it while I can, so if we're right in that area and we need to knock something out, we can. So that's what I'm going to try to do within an hour. And I think because spraying is so intermittent, where you spray, wait 20 minutes, spray, wait 20 minutes, that I got 20 minutes in between to like get to the car and work on stuff and kind of jump between the two things that I'm doing. So that's what we're going to try to do. Alright, so we just got done cleaning our gun from the color, and probably hard to tell, but there you go, that's a good picture. It's coming out pretty decent. Some of these flaws you see, it's going to be covered up by the screw, so I'm not worried about that. So that's just color, 2 coats, and then I'm going to put a clear on it. What's the toughest thing that I'm doing here is you barely, I'm trying to mix even lower than 1 on this, and like you barely get half of the bottom like filled. When I say half, like a silver dollar in the center, and then it slowly spreads out over time, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm over. So I'm trying to mix the minimal, and so far I've been doing really good. Like I'm getting my proportions right, and it's going pretty well. So I just need to wait about 15 minutes and then do 2 shots of clear, and yeah, maybe a 3rd shot, we'll see. And then we should be good to go, and around that time Greg should be showing up, so I got to start hopping on some other stuff and getting it going.